Let's bring in our next guest, and that's going to be Martin Leinweber, digital asset product strategist at Market Vector Indexes. Welcome to the show, Martin.
Good afternoon, Tom. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you got it. So everybody's waiting. Bitcoin Spot ETF. We got a little bit of a tease yesterday with that corrupted tweet yesterday. But what are your expectations here? Because it seems like Bitcoin has made that move from about 16,000 a year ago, or trading above 46,000. Is it already priced in, or is this going to open up Pandora's box where it allows more investors to get in and creates more demand?
You know, the SEC hack was very interesting because we got a glimpse into the future. So I think it's fair to say that the Spot Bitcoin ETF narrative is fully priced in. And what you also saw during the whole day is that we are searching for the next narrative. And if you look at the relative performance, I mean, Bitcoin is going up, but you see that people are focusing now on Ethereum and the whole ecosystem. So ETH, relatively speaking, is stronger than Bitcoin. Also, everything with a higher beta, the layer twos, such as Arbitrum or DeFi, is running. So I expect that the market now focuses on the Ethereum ETF, the Spot ETF.
So that's going to open it up to maybe a new set of investors at this point. When you look at the viability of these and why investors want to get involved in them, is it based on the technology, to your point, or is it based more on the fact that, hey, this is a diversification asset that might continue to expand, so why not put a little bit of money behind this?
It's both. So it's an asset with a beautiful diversification aspect, but it's also at the same time a long call on new technology. So you have also a superb return expectation. And so I think from both perspectives, people are eager to allocate Bitcoin into their portfolios. And I mean, with a regulated, liquid, well-traded vehicle with an ETF in the US, it's far easier now for investors to invest in this asset class.
Why do you think, in your opinion here, Martin, that it's taken so long for the SEC to come up with the allowing a Bitcoin ETF at this point? Is it due to the fact that there's so much uncertainty around it, or is it due to the fact that maybe some people are using it for maybe not proper things as far as the financials go here? Is that the concern here, or is it that maybe that this is a threat to gold or maybe other currencies out there where it might become a store of value that takes away from other things that we've relied on for so many years?
Yeah, I mean, you should ask that Gary, right? Gary Gensler. I mean, I'm sitting here in Europe and we have these vehicles since many years. They work properly. And what you can see here is now we already have a fee war in the US. Yeah, so suddenly, maybe tomorrow, people can trade a Bitcoin ETF for 20 basis points. Yeah. And that will lead to tighter bid-ask spreads also that will reflect on the cryptocurrency exchanges, because I expect the ETF to trade 1 basis point wide. So finally, I'm happy that you have this vehicle in the US because all the infrastructure is in place and you have solid custodians. People don't have to worry about the seed phrase. So I think with the Spot Bitcoin ETF, it will be safer for a lot of investors to invest in this asset class. So I welcome that.
Yeah, I can think that kind of appeases some investor concerns when you've got BlackRock, Van Eck, and some of these other names that are involved in the cryptocurrency. But you mentioned Ethereum moving out of that Bitcoin space as far as in crypto. Is that where the technology lies, and maybe you think there's more opportunities there as opposed to Bitcoin itself moving forward?
So you have to keep in mind that is my assessment for the next months. So it's not all about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, I see it as a digital gold and a store of value, while Ethereum has a completely different use case. Yeah, it's called the internet computer. Yeah, it's a smart contract platform, and also we have other tokens with other use cases. And It's completely normal, and you have that also in the traditional world, that you see a sector rotation in a bull market. And I just see that as a sector rotation. So long term, I'm also still bullish on Bitcoin, but also on a lot of other chains, other assets. And it will be normal to see these mini rotations as you have that from tech to oil and gas or consumer staples in the stock world. I compare to that.
Real quick question here, Martin. You know, you've got the detractors from Bitcoin. You got Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan Chase basically coming out and saying it's just a scam. But then at the same time, you've got people calling for, Bitcoin to go to 100,000, 150,000 over the next couple of years. I mean, what place are you at in that wide spectrum?
Jamie Dimon can have his opinion, but you also have to consider that JP Morgan is very active when it comes to blockchains, and they are also an authorized participants when it comes to the Spot Bitcoin ETFs. So they are involved in this asset class. And you have to think of there's a huge liquidity pool out there, which can now be accessed via the Spot Bitcoin ETF. So longer term, really, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Longer term, that's super bullish for the adoption for the whole asset class. So I wouldn't listen to Jamie Dimon, although he's a very smart guy. So I would rather look at what they are doing and not what they are saying.
Yep. It's all about supply and demand. We'll see as we wait and continue to wait, see if we hear anything from the SEC over the next 24 hours. All right. Great discussion, Martin. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's Martin Leinweber, digital asset project strategist at Market Vector Indices.